the age-old argument, to adapter or not to adapter.
Another one comfortable. I really gotta know if you don't wanna come, you're the one I want.
What is the deal, beautiful people? My name is Ramon. Welcome to Lifestyles Defined Photo. And on this channel, we talk about one of our favorite passions, photography. This video is an AMA, and if you're new here, you're not sure how this works, you ask your question in the comment section down below and we answer it in upcoming videos. Today's question comes from Kenneth. He says, "Hi Ramon, I really enjoy your video. I own the Canon 1DX Mark I, it's a dope camera, and the Canon 5D Mark III, also a dope camera. When I zoom in on my photos on my computer screen, many of the photos are soft. Oof. Particularly on the Mark III. I've since traded in my Canon Mark III. I'm trying to decide, should I go with a Sony A7 III or the Canon 5D Mark IV. I do enjoy my Canon cameras. I can see that. I think the color science is outstanding. I'm considering having the best of both worlds and purchasing the Sony A7 III. My dilemma is the lenses. I know they have adapters, but there is no substitute for native glass. Tell me what you think. Keep up the good work. God bless you." Thank you, good sir, for your blessings. Thank you for your question. So there's a lot here that I can empathize with. First of all, that 1DX, that's a dope camera. And the 5D Mark III. So from what I remember, the 5D Mark III was a fan favorite, particularly for videos. I actually reviewed the Mark IV, and I quite like it, even though I thought there was some piss poor decisions behind that camera. But I still do enjoy the Mark IV. I thought it was dope. That issue you're having with some of your images being soft. Now, you said particularly the 5D, but when you say particularly, to me, it also says that the Canon, the 1DX, is also, you're having that issue. I'm a little worried here. Why are you getting soft images on such a consistent level? This is two things. Now, if it was happening on the 5D and not the 1DX, then I could say it's your camera. If it's happening on the 1DX and not the 5D, I can say it's your camera. But here, the fact that you're seeing it across both cameras says to me one of two things. The first is it could be you, right? You could have some work to do on sort of figuring out the math of what you're shooting and how you're shooting it and why it's not sharp. Or it could be your lens, because more than likely you're using the same lenses on those both cameras, and maybe your lenses need to be checked. I would sort of, before I go out there, well, I mean, you already sold the 5D. I would have your lenses checked. Maybe find a friend and borrow a lens, or maybe rent a lens and go out and shoot and see if you're still getting that softness that you hate. And if you can replicate that softness with a borrowed or rented lens, then the problem's you. So now you got to come back in the comments and tell me what it is you're exactly doing and why your images aren't sharp, and we can sort of dissect that. But nonetheless, I'm not going to deny any man the right to get that new camera. I know that feeling. So you're looking at going with the 5D Mark IV versus the A7 III. I guess, the A7 III is sort of the big buzz camera in photography right now. DP Review said it's the best camera under $2,000 and it can do no wrong. The A7 Mark III is now, they announced that they're running for president in 2020. Get your vote ready. So everyone loves the A7 Mark III. It's apparently the perfect camera. That's fine. I want you to figure out the issue you're having first before you commit. And it kind of pains me to tell you this because you're a Canon guy, and I would hate to see you go over to Sony if you're a Canon guy, but you know who you're talking to. I believe in diversity in the kit, and I know a lot of pros are like, "What? Get the hell out of here with that, kid." Me, I just like using different cameras, and my philosophy behind that is, I like to tell people, hey, I'm a photographer, right? And they go, yeah, are you a photographer? I would hate to get in a situation where I'm at a networking event and someone says, oh, you know, Ramon's a great photographer. And they come over and they say, are you a great photographer? So I say, yeah, I'd like to think so. And they pull out some unknown camera and they say, here, make magic with this. Ooh, I'm sorry, sir. I only shoot Sony. Can't do that. Or, no, this is not my Canon. Can't do magic. I don't want to be in that situation. So I pride myself in learning how to use all of these different cameras and keeping the basics always center, the exposure triangle and composition and storytelling, as opposed to the tool that I'm using, which is why on any given day I'll pick up a different camera, different lens combo, and I'll go out and have a blast. I enjoyed the journey of developing that part of my photography career. So I would never want to take that away from someone. So I like when you say to me, I'm thinking about going over to Sony, even though you're a Canon dude. I think that's dope. And what makes it even more dope is with mirrorless cameras, you have the ability to not start from scratch. You know, before, if you were a Canon dude and you wanted to try Nikon, you had to sell all your glass and vice versa. Now it's not like that anymore. You buy an adapter and you rock out. Now, this is the meat and potatoes of your question. Are the adapters worth it? So adapters are, by now we all know what they are. Some of them, what's interesting, on my Sony, the adapter that I use to use A-mount glass actually has a mirror there. Most adapters don't have mirrors. They're just a flange difference, and maybe some mechanics to for your autofocus and whatnot. But I thought that was interesting that the AIII had a glass. But whatever, that's literally all it is, and it allows you to mount a different lens other than the manufactured version onto your camera. There are some caveats there. I mean, one, there's usually some loss in light. So you usually lose about a stop to a stop a half of light when you use an adapter. I would say if you are looking at something like the A7 III, it's a full frame camera, you've got ISO for days. It's not a big deal. I mean, I bought my A7 II with that adapter to shoot A-mount. So from the inception of me buying my full frame camera, I've been using an adapter. I've been missing the stop of light. I don't care. My work is nonetheless. Like it. Who cares about that? But two, the thing about adapters is the focusing can be an issue. Depending on what you're adapting and how you're adapting, some of the focusing issues are quite scary. For instance, I know if you look at the Canon 85mm 1.2, that's a pretty popular portrait lens. That lens was never known for its particularly fast focusing on a Canon camera in the first place. And I've seen videos of people trying to use it, or actually, let me not say trying, they were using it on the Sony with the adapter and the Metabones adapter, of course. And there's a little bit of loss of speed there. But is it something that is such a deal breaker? I don't think so. I like to think of it as maybe this is a reach, but the Xbox versus PlayStation thing. The PlayStation had the better graphics, and people would say, oh, it's better than the Xbox. It's like, well, what does it matter to you? It's not like you're playing both the same game side to side, and you're just like, this one's better, I need this one. Like, you play your game, and that's sort of my philosophy with these lenses. Like, it may be a little slower, but it's not slow to the point where you're gonna hit the shutter button and there's gonna be a little spinning wait sign saying, please wait for focus. So I think the little milliseconds of loss of speed is totally worth it. And then there's also some randomness about adapters. Like, I remember the Sigma adapter when it first came out was pretty much bricking A7R3s or R2s. I think it was R3. So that's always something to be scary about. Let the community try that out first. But because you're a Canon guy, I think the Metabones, I think they're up to version 4 last time I checked, and it's rock solid. And all of these caveats kind of don't matter when you look at what you get back. These trade-offs don't matter because you're not starting over with your lens. So not only are you're getting a new camera, but right out the gate for an extra $400, you get to use all of your lenses that you've built up over the years, and lenses that you're well familiar with, and you know their downfalls and where they flare, how they react, and like all that stuff. Like, I think it's totally worth it. But just remember, because I'm not sure exactly what you're using these things for, just remember the caveats. But I'm very interested to know. I want you to go back to seeing where that problem exists with your soft images. Super curious about that. Hit the comment section. Let me know where you end up and how you're going to tackle that. For everyone else, the LD familiar, of course, you guys know it is now your duty to hit the comment section below and weigh in on this question. Let the homie know how you feel about that. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And when you get a chance, check out the description. We have links to all of our other YouTube channels, a tech channel, a gaming channel. It's all there. My name is Ramon, and I'm out of here. Peace. But wait, before we get out of here and that outro rolls, I want to introduce to you the Lifestyles Defined merch store. And you can access that on the website off to the right. There's a link that'll take you right into there. So how this came about is we get a lot of messages from you guys. You want to support, you want to know how to support. And it never really felt right to just straight up take your money, as crazy as that sounds. So what we did here was we went and got a bunch of designs and we put them on shirts, hoodies, and everything else. And now we feel better because when you support us, you get something tangible. You get a piece of the community. And I think this is the way it should be. So I'm very excited about that. And I would love for you guys to head over to the website, check it out, leave a comment below. Let us know how you dig into designs. And of course, thank you. Well, I guess, and the reason we started Lifestyles Defined is because if we weren't on camera arguing about these things, the technologies, the phones, the iPhones, the Androids, the cameras, the games, we'd be on the phone arguing about it. We'd be in each other's houses arguing about it. So why not just put it in front of a camera for everyone to enjoy it the way we do? That's what Lifestyles Defined is all about. We just love this shit.